Hey guys, this is Karaoke Freak, and I review the brand new table for the Pinball Arcade, which is the Addams Family. This is a very, very popular table from 1992. It's the most sold pinball table of all time, as far as I remember, and you might even find it in a few places around you, but probably in a very bad condition, which is why it's so great to have this table in the Pinball Arcade. Finally. This is a very special table for its time. It has some quirks, and still it is considered to be the best pinball table of all time. I don't know, I don't really agree with that, but I find it really, really good, and I show you how it works by starting with a skill shot. Yeah, this is done by placing the ball in the think pit. And if you ask yourself what's the think pit, I'll explain it in just a second. Here we have the layout. We have two bottom flippers and two side flippers, one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side. And the left-hand side flipper is actually very, very small and hard to use. The other one leads to two ramps, which are the major ramps for your jackpot triggering. And the main spots are the think pit, which is on top of the table. Then there's the vault, which is right below that, and then there's one major ramp with a loop and a secondary loop that you can hit with the secondary flipper. This is basically how it works for multi-ball and all the free stuff. But as you just saw, I placed the ball in one of the pits in the front, which is either the electric chair or it is the swamp that I just hit here. And once you hit those pits, you will get a special task, or let's say you get a special play mode in which the scoring is changed. I just triggered the Mamushka, which gives me a lot of points when I hit all kinds of triggers on the table. So I try to hit as many as I can, which means actually try to get the ball to the bumpers on the left-hand side. Yeah, and as you can see here, the pit for Thing is very, very important, because Thing will come out in certain occasions and take the ball and bunker it. So you have save balls for a multi-ball, which I try to trigger here. This ramp that I just shot is the Thing ramp. You can spell out Thing by shooting this ramp, and if you hit the Thing pit afterwards, you will get a special reward. Yeah, and what you just saw is the automatic mode. When you hit the center ramp, the stair ramp, once it's lit, you will get a special exit on that ramp, and it will fall to the it will fall in front of the secondary trigger on the left-hand side, and it will automatically push the ball across the table to the swamp, or at least it will try to. Yeah, here you see me triggering the Thing reward, but it doesn't give me a multi-ball yet because whatever, I don't really know actually. What I have to do is I have to save two balls and put the last ball into the swamp or the electric chair as far as I remember, and then I trigger a multi-ball. But you can see here that the damn electric magnetic field in the middle is giving me a lot of trouble while trying this. Anyway, I succeeded, and now I get a multi-ball. This is the normal major multi-ball in this game, and what I try to do now is to place one of the balls in one of those ramps that are that I tried to reach by using the secondary flipper. Yeah, and here you see I just lost both balls. Oh, damn it. I don't know why this happens all the time. Sometimes this, yeah, look at that. Sometimes this table is not really, really fair. It's sometimes kind of unfair, and you will be pretty angry if you stand in front of a real machine and just spend money on it, and this game cheats on you. Yeah, it's mostly the magnetic field in the middle that gives you trouble sometimes. Because most of the times it's really funny to see the ball humping around and flying wherever the machine thinks it's great. But sometimes it will place the ball outside of the field into the outer lane where it gets lost. And you really don't like this to happen. And it happens more often than you expect. Anyway, once you get around that, it's actually pretty cool to play because the layout of this table is pretty clear. There's a lot of short distances, especially the 2 ramps here, one which I triggered right there. Those short distances remind me of the older table Funhouse, which shares this feature. However, it's not as complicated as Funhouse because you don't have to hit too many things in a row. Actually, most of the time you will be asked to put the ball in somewhere around thing or around the bumpers, depending on which play mode you triggered. This makes it actually very much fun for beginners and for casual players because you don't have to follow the master plan for high score all the time. If you compare it to Black Knight 2000, for example, which is quite older, but has even more complicated structure, this is not at all the philosophy of this table. This table gives you a lot of freedom to experiment and to try just to hit some things. And once you get more sophisticated, you will see that you can get a pretty big amount of points once you really try to hit certain things on purpose. Yes, this table is pretty typical for the 90s. Actually, in the 90s they started adding dot matrix screens where you were told what to do and where you can get higher scores and where you can get your extra balls and free plays and whatever. However, it's not the most complicated table of this type. If you are looking for something more structured and a little more complicated, though not too difficult, then you might rather download Star Trek The Next Generation, which is also a very good table. But this one is, I don't know how to say it, it's more of a quick play table. You can just sit on it and play maybe half an hour and it will give you everything it has in this 30 minutes. It's only up to you to practice to get better or to stand those damn magnetic fields here. You see, it's giving you a pretty hard time aiming at stuff. Especially when you try to hit the electric chair. It's, as I said, it's not always fair. It can be kind of frustrating, especially in the first few seconds when you launch a ball, because there were other tables of this time that had this feature when you lost the ball in the first 10 seconds, then you would get the ball back, and this would keep the frustration from you. This table does not have this feature, so sometimes you just lose a ball because of something stupid, you know, getting to the bumpers at the wrong angle, and it bumps the ball somewhere into the nirvana. And as I told you, I know this table quite well because there's a lot of places where you can still play it, and especially with the tables that aren't in a good condition yet anymore. It's pretty frustrating since you just spent money on it, and not only is the table bad in its condition with worn out flipper arms, but also the game cheats on you by using magnetic fields. Yeah, and there's this one stupid angle that comes from the last bumper on the left-hand side, which will, if you trigger that, it will always maneuver your ball outside of the field, and it's actually terrible. So these are the two major flaws of this table, and this is why I think it's not the best table of all time. Damn it, let's look at what I do here. It's not the best table of all time in my opinion, but it is a very, very good table, especially for its time. I have others that I play more often, probably in the future, but I will always give this one a try in my sessions because it's, as I said, it's a quick play table. You don't have to learn much, you don't have to follow much, you can just shoot around and maybe hit something, and once you know where everything is, you will try harder to hit those on purpose. But altogether, it's actually very easy to score in this table, and to get all the goals. Even the things, even spelling out the thing is actually quite easy. And on top of that, there's no multiplier per se. You know, normal tables of this time will have an area where you have like 4 lanes, and you can switch the triggers of the lanes, so you can spell out a certain word or combination, and then you will get multiple points for your bonuses. This doesn't happen here. Instead, you get a lot of triggers that will raise the score from the normal settings, like doing Mamushka or hitting a number of times, or doing the Seance, which activates the magnetic field below the table, the annoying one. Yeah, and there you have to, if that's active, actually you have to hit only 1 ramp, and it's pretty hard to hit. Anyway, this is a table definitely enjoyable for people who grew up with the 80s tables, and who can stand certain flaws, like the not giving the ball back once you lose it in the first few seconds and stuff like that. And you will find this actually pretty amusing because it's the paramount of the tradition of the 80s tables in a certain form of perfection when it comes to quick jumping in and learning it, and this quick to learn, hard to master, you know, this philosophy. This table hits it right at the spot, and you will have a lot of fun with it once you download that. I think this sums it up. It's a recommendable table with a few flaws, but I really love it. I wouldn't want to miss it, and I guess you'll have a lot of fun with it too, even though it's not the most modern one, and it doesn't have too many goals to aim at. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we see each other next time.